Yes, lads, what's going on? And welcome to finally the Girona career mode. We're heading to Spain, boy. For the first time this year, we will be doing a foreign career mode. Now, a few things to clear up at the start of this one. We are playing this modded and on PC. We're using FIFA's realism mod, which is now in the beta version. I will leave some information about the mod down below and how to pick it up. But as for the past few years, the FIFA realism mod for me is easily the best mod on PC. Now, that's not the only thing here with Girona. They managed to finish third in La Liga last season, which is absolutely insane. And currently in this mod, we would have only had £11 million. And that's in dollars. So we would have only had like 9 million, I think, in UK sterling. So I have gone and given us a boost as if we have that Champions League money for securing that spot and given us an extra 50 million. Also, another nice plus with this mod is we can set your boy Yorkie up with this nice Adidas tracksuit drip. Along with that, there's a ton of other changes in the mod. I'm not going to list all of them. It's just going to really enhance this career mode, and I'm looking forward to it as this will be the last career mode on FC24 as we start to ramp to FC25. Now, if you've been watching the Leeds United career mode, do not worry, that's going absolutely nowhere. That will still be continuing on the channel. This will just be running alongside it and then take over from Leeds once we're finished. Now, of course, with the team finishing third and in the Champions League, I did have to go in and edit that and put us into the Champions League. So we will be heading in the group stages. We just replaced Sevilla. So it'll be whatever Sevilla's group was last year. I just felt like that was the best way to do this. But that's enough of that. No more housekeeping. Let's get into episode number 1 and have some fun. If you're new to the channel, please smash that subscribe button. Hit the like button. I'm super looking forward to this career mode. Now, I think the bucket hat might just be an episode 1 thing. Now, the first thing, of course, that you have to do when you start a new save is you have to look at the squad. Now, a key thing about these squads that you will be seeing, if you're not playing modded, they probably won't be like yours. This is as up to date as I could get right now using the realism mod squads, and obviously a lot of the ratings, faces, a lot of the player details that are in this will be changed. Just like starting off with Gazaniga, the face, I think, is completely different to what it is normally, and the man is 82 overall. So there are these options. Now, one of the first things I've noticed, and I like to look at when I look at a squad, is, God, we are old. We are a very, very old squad. We've got Stuani, who I believe is our best striker, who is 36 years old. And I don't know how players go up and down using the mod. So I'm not sure how that's going to pan out, but we have quite a few older players on the books. Christian Paul 2 was a go-to back in the day for me. He's a very quick, beastly winger, but he's not going to be as impactful. Now, some things I should mention. I did notice that some deals are not done yet. I could be completely wrong, but I am positive that Savio is signed for Manchester City. But in this, we still have him on loan from Troyes, and they sign him from Troyes. So I don't know if that's just a workaround that they couldn't get around with the mod or whatever. If you don't want me to use him this first season, that's fine, because I do understand that Savio, 82 overall, he's a very beastly player. But if we look at some of our better players, and our best one in Alex Garcia, he looks pretty good, right? His in-game model is pretty decent. He's 84 overall. I believe he's a new signing. We've got Victor Sagankov as well, so I'm excited to have him on the right-hand side. And we don't look too bad. Okay, so we do actually have a better striker. I believe this guy was one of the top goal scorers for Girona this last season gone. He ended up being a beast for them. Artem Dubovnik? I'm trying to say that as best as possible. You already know at this stage, if you're new, I ain't good at the pronunciations. We have Eric Garcia on loan from Barcelona. Gutierrez, who is a beast. He's an exciting prospect. I think we're going to be able to really build on him. And I'm instantly looking at this squad and thinking, all right, they might not be fully Champions League, you know, overalls, but this is a good team that we can do some damage with. Yes, some older heads in there. We've still got Yan Couto on loan from Man City. Again, I don't know if that's something that's carried over this year. I don't believe it will have done. And Ana Martinez could be an absolute beast for us. He's 78 overall in this one. But I do believe there's players like Barcelona after him in real life. Now, when I look at the youth, there is some, but how good is this youth? I don't know. Some of you will know more about the club. Now, this guy, Solis, 18, Colombian, centre mid CDM, he looks really good. Someone like Savio, of course, who we have there. But some of these other youngsters, I don't really know much about. So any information that you guys can give me, we do have Pablo Torre out on loan to us from Barcelona. And he's actually someone who I would like to try and pick up at the end of this season in real life. I don't think there's no deal to buy there. But Pablo Torre, I would like to get a deal done. Obviously, a huge part of this mod is the new faces and the new presentation and how players look and stuff. And I'm pretty new to modding on this game. I haven't modded since FIFA 19, and I think that's when I first found the realism mod and absolutely loved it. Now, the problem that came around with this one is every time the damn game gets updated with the anti-cheat and whatnot, none of the old mods work, so you have to wait in order. So I'm going to hopefully have these recorded and stacked up. This will be the first episode where I wait for your guys' feedback, which is why we're here. Get your feedback in now on transfer. The way I like to play is that I will set up my own scouting network, and that's all I'll use. I won't purposely go and search for players. We will only use the scouting network. Now, bear in mind, in the mod, players do have much different values. Like, players that are wonder kids are valued like that from their club. Another thing that's cool about the mod as well, though, is that some of the young players that should be in the game that weren't are now in the game. Players such as Endre. But to be honest with you, in this first transfer window, I'm just going to heavily rely on you guys, and I'm probably not going to do too much business. I think this team's in a good spot, and it gives us an opportunity to determine how much we like certain players and how much maybe we don't, and we want to move them on. And then in January, maybe 1 or 2 more signings. I don't know yet. I'm going to wait heavily for your guys' feedback on what we should do. Now, we are going to be kicking off our season against Real Sociedad. We've got Getafe in there and Sevilla as well. So we don't have a really easy start to our season. I should mention with the Champions League as well, all I did was just replace Sevilla. We've got PSV, we've got Arsenal, and we've got Lens in our group. These aren't easy games for us, but you would say as a first timer in the Champions League, it at least gives us a bit of hope. When it comes to the Youth Academy as well, we have absolutely nobody in here. I'm going to leave this wide open to your guys' suggestions on where you think we should go, or if we should use the Youth Academy in this final set. That's going to be down to you guys. Now, for tactic, we are going to line up with a 4-3-3 just to start things out. I don't know if we're going to keep this formation, but from doing this, I have learned some valuable lessons. We are extremely short at right back, where we don't have a backup currently. We find ourselves in the exact same position at left back with no backup currently. We apparently don't have an out-and-out CDM, even though Garcia could play there, but we don't have an out-and-out CDM. Our only Real left winger of high talent is Savio. Now, Porto potentially could play there. Maybe right foot cutting in. I wouldn't be too against that. We have Valerie and we also have Villa. But in terms of just pure overall base in it, we don't really have that much talent there on either wing who are at the same level as Savio or Saganko. So their positions instantly we're going to highlight and hopefully try and find some players. As time moves forward, obviously we're going to start receiving a lot of bids and a lot of moves, but I'm not really too keen right now on letting too many players go out until we start assessing the squad. But there will be some of the younger players that I just let go out on loan. Now, bids already coming in for some of our star players like Arno Martinez. Now, I mentioned this about market values before. Look at the bids that we are getting for Martinez. This is what I'm saying. Because he's 20, he's now valued all of a sudden with proper value. And I don't want to let him go this season. I mean, Tottenham and Aston Villa, they are really, really big bids. And maybe at some point we have to highlight that we are playing the current season on. So maybe I should be accepting these kind of bids, but I'm going to hold off on him for now. I'm going to stay strong. But I probably do have to play this as if like it is the summer transfer that's going on right now in Real life. Now, if we are treating it like it is the Real summer transfer window, I'm going to have my list reflect that. And Donny van der Beek is a player that they have been rumored with in real life. So has. And he is actually someone who we could use. I've just mentioned how weak we are on the left-hand side. So we're going to scout these players and we're going to get it figured out. Hopefully, he's not going to cost too much with the valuations in this game, because it does look like he's on the move in real life. Whether it be a loan with a future fee, I don't know yet, but he's certainly not in the plans of Tottenham. but he could be in our plan. Now, another real cool feature that you have with the realism mod is I mentioned Alex Garcia could play CDM, but it wouldn't let me put him there. Now, it does change his overall rating. This is the only problem, but I can go in now. I can edit him as much as I want, and I can change his position to be CDM. And that's exactly what I did. You will note, though, that his overall went down to 81. So I might think to myself, oh, I can't afford to take the hit on that. I am going to go back and change him to just be a central midfielder, which then, of course, will change his overall rating back to 84. So we've learned our lesson. He might be able to play CDM, but he's definitely not an out-and-out CDM. And that's where our first transfer target comes in. And that is Fran Beltran, or Beltrain. I don't know how you pronounce that because of the little flick on the A. I'm an English moron, okay? But this guy looks like he will be good for us. He's got good balance. He's got good interceptions, decent vision. He's still fairly young. He will continue to improve. Hopefully, he's got decent ball control, defensive awareness, and he's a good passer of the football. And we want to play tiki-taka. He has play styles of long pass, tiki-taka, and intercept. So I couldn't imagine anyone being more perfect to be our starting CDM. He does have a decent value on him. This isn't going to be a cheap deal, but if we could get him for around 18 million, I think that would be a steal. We do go in initially with the 18 million, hoping that he will accept it. He wants to negotiate with a player trade. I don't want to be doing no player trades at this current moment in time, although they are looking like they're becoming a little bit more popular. They obviously really like Fran, so I'm going to offer them 21 million here and hope that gets the deal done. There we go, 21 million. Now, this is a decent sized deal compared to the budget that we have, but I really felt like we needed to get the deal for a CDM done. I think my main positions that are big worries for me are CDM, left wing, and then right back and left back. But I want quality in those positions. I didn't really have anybody else who could play the CDM position because right now it looks like I should be playing Garcia further forward. The fact that he's going to take rotation is very good news for us. And I'm just happy to have this deal done. Now, we are in Spain, so I actually want the release clauses in, but I just want it to be a bit higher. Are they going to be more easy to negotiate with? No, so we're just going to deny it, and we're going to go with our usual truth system of we will let players go if we think that the valuation is correct, and if someone hits someone's, let's say, quote-unquote release clause, we'll let players leave on that basis. I don't hoard players from big teams. We try and make realistic deals as much as possible anyway. How cool is it now, though, in these cutscenes? Like, look at that. He's wearing the Girona training jersey. Like, how cool is that? Come on, boys. You know, if you haven't modded and you watch the channel, and honestly, I've been waiting to do this for so long. I am an idiot for not buying this on PC, by the way, earlier on. I'm still 50-50 now, whether I get FC25 on PlayStation first and then PC, just because I find it's a smoother start on the console and then takes a little bit longer on PC. But I don't know. If you don't get it on PC eventually, it took me too long. Should have upgraded the PC ages ago, and we could have had a couple of these career modes. That deal being done, I can slot in Fran there now. And then Herrera. Is it Herrera or Martin who will be replaced? I think it's going to be Herrera. And Martin apparently could play on the left. So what if we put Martin there? Sagankov there, and then Herrera back in. We are starting to cook a little bit here. I need to change Gutierrez to a left back, though, not a left wing back, which we will do using the edit system. But yeah, I'm starting to feel like this 11, playing Champions League football, maybe not daily blind. You would probably be asking, why is Lopez not in that position? And it is purely because he's right-footed, and so is Garcia. And I think Garcia's a really good centre-back, but would he be a better CDM? Then we could have two CDMs. I don't know. These are all questions you could ask right now, but this is what we're looking like as we come to the start of the season. I'm not sure I want Martin to play there, though, because of his pace. That's the main issue I have. So I'm really praying that you guys say use Savio this year and then sell him at the end of the year, but I completely understand if not. So maybe Kuto plays there. He's right-footed. We will play him cutting in. And then we can keep Zagankov here on the right-hand side because I prefer him there. And then Herrera, Martin, they can be interchangeable. The squad is being built, lads, and I'm loving it. I do keep on receiving bids for Lopez, and I can't help but think he's 33. He's 80 overall. This might be the most money we ever get for David Lopez, but I imagine he was quite a key cog last season, so I don't really want to let him go. I'm going to reject that. And then for Ano Martinez, it's Napoli. We have the badge in the game, boys. But I'm going to turn that one down. I think if I can enter this season with Ano Martinez, I will be very happy. I do have Sky reports back on Donny van der Beek, who I don't know. He's not terrible, but Brian Hills isn't too bad. 76 overall. He's a quick player and will continue to improve. They do want a decent amount, so I think I'm going to try and approach to loan, and they're not interested. So I think if we want to get this deal over the line, it is going to have to be a full transfer. Now, he's good. And you're going to notice with the realism mod, this is something you've all got to learn, boys. The realism mod is going to add the fact that a 76 overall with the right attributes to suit what you do is going to be good. You're going to find it very hard to get players like Uri here, who is a 82 overall. Although having said that, he's not valued high at all, which is weird. We're going to see some other players like En-Nesyri, who was someone I was looking at, but unfortunately Chelsea came in and grabbed him, as higher values. I am very surprised at that. Whereas youngster Rodrigo Riquelme is valued at 50 million. So I'm learning these budgets as well, but I just want to state that a 76 overall isn't the same feel in the base game. It honestly, it just isn't. So I'm kind of all in right now for Uri from Atletico Bilbao. I like really want this deal. I also want the Donny van der Beek deal potentially, because he wouldn't cost much, but he's on loan right now. So this would have to be something next season, but you see his market value is very low. Now, these are deals we need feedback on right now then. So Brian Hill is probably the big one. If we could have loaned him, we'd have done that straight away. But then Uri, I mean, this is a deal I think I should be doing straight away. I have to be pretty frugal. 36 million. Cannot just be wild with the money, which is making it more difficult to decide. Now, one thing I didn't look at objectives, and I haven't turned them off yet, but they don't really matter. I'm not really bothered by them. They shouldn't have any effect because I am just going to turn them off eventually. But they are there in case anybody wanted to see them. They don't mean anything to me. Now, I may have slept on Valerie. I didn't look at him close enough. He's wanted by Feyenoord. So just assessing my left winger situation right now, right? So we have Tony Villa, he's okay. But for me, I don't feel like I'd choose him. But I may have slept on Valerie. And I feel like you guys might have put this in the comments right now if you know anything about Girona. But he's 76 overall at the age of 23. This guy has real room to grow. And why not? Why not give him an opportunity to start on the left-hand side ahead of someone we have on loan right now? So I'm going to make the decision that for right now, Valerie will be our starting left winger. Brian Hill is not out the window, by the way, but that does change my importance of signing a Brian Hill. I think a right back and a left back is far more important now. After reading a little bit more about the club, I found the desperately depressing news that Alex Garcia, he has signed for Bayer Leverkusen. So we will add him to the transfer list. That is not how I wanted this to unfold, but it is something that has happened, and we are now open. I would love to try and get a similar deal. I think it was around 20-30 million than what they got in Real Life. Now we have Manchester United and PSG. I'm going to reject the PSG one, but since Manchester United were actually linked with him, this is just off what websites are saying, I am going to accept the Manchester United bid. Now I have come up with an idea to make this feel like this year's summer window. I am going to terminate the loan of Eric Garcia. I'm also going to terminate the loan of Jan Couto and terminate the loan of Pablo Torre. None of these players are at the club going into this Real season, and it has just dawned on me that it makes the most sense to let those players leave. And along with doing that, I am going to remove the question of Savio by terminating his loan and letting him leave. So that's just changed things massively for us. Our club is a damn sight weaker, and we're really going to have to do some good business now. I'm relying on you guys a lot, because our transfer budget is at 39 million. But I do think to make this the most realistic career mode that we can for ourselves, those decisions had to be made, and I had to let those loans go. Now, the next big decision, of course, was letting Alexis Garcia go, and here we go. He goes to Manchester United. We're going to get an A for it, 34.5 million. So in the space of just moments, our budget might have grown to 73 million, but we have lost a core chunk of our team that we had just been planning for the future with. We're going to have to make some big changes now. And I'm going to continuously scout and add players to the list, but I cannot preach this enough. I need your guys' help. We need suggestion. Now, my official thought after letting all those players go is instantly, I have to replace Garcia. I've got Lucas Robertone, and I also have Andre Almeida. I feel like I really like Robertone, but I do feel like Almeida probably suits what we're looking for more. He's also going to be a cheaper deal, and as far as I'm aware, Valencia still have some real big debt issues, so 11.5 million is what we're going to go in for. 13.1, firmly accepting this. Robertone would have cost a lot more than that, and right now, we're kind of strapped for cash. It might look like we have a ton of money, but we actually have several positions that we now need to sign players for. So we do not have a lot of money. Almeida has some upside to him as well, so that made this a deal I really wanted to get done. The man wanted to pay for us that much. He even took a pay cut. So welcome to Girona, Almeida. Now we have Real Sociedad in 2 days. That's going to be the game for this episode, and my mind is scrambling. I'm scrambling in my head for deals that I think that we can get done that are going to be good enough deals. And I'm worried about out wide. So I'm going to go a little bit wild for some potential loans. Like that one there for Adeyemi. And Yeremy Pino here, right? He's now at Manchester City. Would he play much this season? I thought no. We can't get the loan for it. I even tried a rival team to try and loan Rodrigo Riquelme, and no, the deal couldn't be done. Now, I know we need a left back, so Melvin Bard could be a really good option. I've also been scouting for right back, and Mukiele just isn't having a great time right now at PSG, but that weekly wage really stresses me out. Now, we could go for someone younger and Doué, but he's only valued at 6.6 million, which I really like that deal, but it's making me think, does he have the upside that we want? And then, of course, we still have deals for Uri, who I really like, and I've added Waldemir Anton, because this guy's a brick wall, genuinely a brick wall, and he could be really cheap, around 13.8 million, and he would solve that position at centre-back. But with so many decisions to make, I've decided to table that for now, and we're going to take on Real Sociedad. Now, this is actually going to be my first game that I've played on PC. We don't have any sliders over here, but we do have a gameplay mod going at the moment, so we'll see how that is. I'm probably going to have to turn stuff down in terms of settings as well as we get into the game, and I firmly understand I'm looking over here, because usually my monitor is this one in front of me, but we're on the different monitor, but I might change that during the next episode. But look, if you made it this far and to this point, I appreciate you all. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get into our first game as Girona manager. Now, I am hoping, settings-wise, this just translate over well. And again, I need to get used to this new gameplay mod. And if we're going to keep it, I don't know if we'll use the gameplay mod or just go back to the slider set that we have with Leeds, because I'm pretty happy with that one. But yeah, this is probably going to feel very different to me than what we're using, as Arnaud wins that. But I would say in this game, we probably would be expecting to beat Sociedad, or at least give them a really good game. Move the ball forward really well here, and I'm kind of finding it hard to deal with how sluggish the game is. Playing it like this, I'm not even going to lie. This gameplay mod, though, must be good, but certain passes that I would be making normally aren't coming off as Martin rattles the crossbar. Gazaniga can collect it, and we can just breathe a sigh of relief for a minute. It might take me a minute to learn how to play like this as Viktor Sagankov is brought down. That's only going to be a yellow card. But look at this. I'm already liking it. Kieran Tierney at Real Sociedad, lads. Can you believe it? But yeah, the gameplay for me is very slow. And players, you can't play the same kind of passes. I think that's what I'm struggling with so far. Obviously, we're trying to play tiki-taka. And I'm just trying to find my feet. I finally got some movement. Can I play that ball in? Dubrovnik? Oh, he went for the chest. First bit of movement I really had that's good. I'm starting to think 4 minutes in this gameplay probably won't work in the long run, because opportunities have been very far and few between. Sociedad definitely had the best one of the half, rattling that crossbar. So, I mean, I haven't really done anything apart from just sweat my ass off this entire video, boys. Honestly, if you're in the UK right now, it's so warm. It's ridiculous. And aircon right now would be absolutely lovely. Martin. Oh, you found Sagankov. He should have the pace to beat his man. He didn't, though. But he pulls it back, and then I try and play it in. It's fine. It was handball. Sagankov again. Good footwork, though. He's kept it. Fran Beltran. Never going to happen. Right now, we look set for an opening day draw. So I'm going to change stuff up a little bit because obviously I'm still learning this team. Let's see what these 3 substitutes can come on and do. Almeida, the one I'm really probably looking at the most to see, you know, how he handles the situation and how he plays. We are away. They're going to bring on Baron Echea. Oh, no, they're going to bring him up. I do like the little substitute thing for the Liga. I'm not going to lie. It's good. I don't know why I haven't done any foreign leagues yet because that is clean. I like it. Or 2. Plays that one in to Almeida. They've left him. Almeida, all alone, finally gets off a decent shot. Norman, what's he doing there? That was the closest we have been to it being 1-0 Girona. Do not let them score late on. A point is not the world's worst result, considering we're using this new mod. I would be happy with it. And a point in the end is all we will manage. There's a long way for us to go with this team. There's a lot for us to learn. We did have that one good chance with Almeida. We started to create stuff. I'm not sure I want to stick with the gameplay mod. I haven't decided yet. Let me know down below if you want me to try it. It is definitely feeling a lot more realistic. I'm just going to have to adapt the way I play massively because it's so much more sluggish, which is realistic. Don't get me wrong. I just need to learn that, which would take a little bit of time. But Real Sociedad are a good team. They've got Lenormand. They've got Oyafabal, who scored the winner in the Euros. So they've got some really good players. And we are going to have to try our hardest to sign some good players coming up in the next episode. That's it for episode number 1. The pace obviously will pick up now. This is just the initial one, the introduction episode, the one where we introduce you to the save. I play a game. We talk about how this whole system's going to go. We have a laugh. We have a jolly good time. And then we kick it up a notch in the next one. We will finish off the summer window. We will build this squad and start flying through our first La Liga season, including Champions League football, lads. Now, if you enjoyed the episode, smash the like button. New to the channel, hit subscribe. I mean, I feel like I deserve it. I wore the hat the entire time. I'm sweating like a madman right now in this heat under these hot lights, but I could not wait to get this one done, finally having the mod installed. Thank you very much, everybody. I will see you for the next one.